So, all right, that wraps up part one. So now let's talk about part two. Part two of this video, like I said, we'll be talking about how to effectively use a designer for your business. And part two is specifically, explicitly directed towards my classmates of 2012. Our reunion is coming up. So Wes is good, y'all. Like, y'all ain't talked to me in a hot second. I mean, I talked to Don, I talked to freaking Etienne, I talked to Mikey, I talked to Gerard, but I don't talk to everybody. It's too many of y'all, goddammit. Y'all doing pretty good things out there. I see y'all sometimes on social media. I run into you guys sometimes in real life. But yeah, man, we're getting old. Boy, I'm about 30. It's been 10 years already. Sheesh, it's crazy, right? But like I said, I'm glad that we're doing things for this class reunion, because like I told Mikey, I wasn't even sure I was going to come to the reunion, or I wasn't sure whether or not I don't know whether or not I want to come to Jacksonville, because I don't like to live in the past, and I feel like I'm kind of progressing forward. So doing that, we all know people in Jacksonville is like the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and back in my day. So for me, my choice was to just avoid Jacksonville altogether unless I'm seeing family. But yeah, but I'm glad we're doing this, and you guys are coming together and doing things, because we need to touch base. A lot of us is doing a lot of cool shit, a lot of powerful stuff. And I don't know about y'all, but our class was the best damn class I left Northside in 2012, and probably any of the other years, plus or minus 5 years. But that's just my opinion. I think the records and the facts show that, but hey, I ain't counting tabs, you know what I'm saying? But for you guys, similar to the video Mikey left on Facebook, I am going to be talking about what I'm talking about. So I just wanted to focus on the fact, well, first of all, let me get you guys caught up. So after school, I essentially tried out for the NFL, like all the football players did. Did regional combine at Saints facility. Then I did a pro day at Campbell, because Elon didn't have one. Then I waited for those 3 days in April, and 3 days passed. I got an opportunity to go play in Canada for two teams potentially. One of them is in Winnipeg. I forget the team names. I don't even be caring. But I said no. It's too cold. I don't really want to do that and go to Canada, play ball. And then also at that point in time, you know, shoot my shot for NFL and it's falling short. I got a kid, I had Juju. I'm just like, I'm good. I had a good season at Elon, and I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, started working for the Campus Junior Globe, because that's where I was at while I was waiting for like the draft. Then draft came, I was like, damn, got to get out of here, because making no money in Jacksonville, and I was only there because of football, and I turned down a really good paying job fresh out of school to kind of pursue this football thing. So then I landed my black self in Lowe's at corporate, which is really good. Good pay, good benefits, bonuses, all that stuff. Was there for 3 years and 10 months. Pissed me off because I didn't make 4 years. I was so close. Anyways, but so I did that. Then I, again, like I said earlier in the video, went to the agency life, and now I'm at an investment firm. So pretty good years of design, creative work. I've done a shit ton of freelance. I mean a shit ton. And fortunate for me, both in combination of freelance and just like regular work, I've touched a lot of high level clients. Obviously working at Lowe's, I did all 99% of like internal facing graphics, about 85% of external facing graphics, especially working in corporate communication. I work directly with the CEO. Like, I've done a crap ton of stuff. And then I was able at the agency to work with a lot of big clients like, you know, Greenworks, Allen Roth when I was at Lowe's, Cobalt, things like that. And as a freelancer, I was able to work for, you know, pitches for CVS. I've done pitches for films. I didn't know about that, like design pitch deck stuff for films. I've done a plethora of logos for people, fitness, fashion, people in Australia, people in Canada, California, this kind of all over. I've done accessibility, infographics and vectors for Facebook, now known as Meta. I've done that. and some other things that I cannot disclose. So I've done a lot, and I had a lot of experience, and I use that and leverage that to kind of bring value to the table and to kind of reassure my clients like, hey, this is not the guy that just, I'm a trapper in the day, rapper, and I also do design too. No, it's just like, look, I went to school just to have a degree, thinking about getting a master's in it, and I'm proficient. I have all these internships, all these recommendations on my LinkedIn to make sure that you guys know, like, hey, this is a professional. This is my side hustle. This is my profession. You know what I'm saying? So I take a lot of pride in that. So with that being said, when it comes to you guys leveraging designers for your business, there's pretty much 3 principles I want to touch. There's a lot of shit I can talk about, but there's 3 principles I want you guys to kind of take home. One is how to find the right designer, expectation and deliverables, and respect the process. So let's start with how to find the right designer. So finding the right designer encompasses a lot of different things, right? It encompasses the right budget, the right skill set, the right time frame, and then the right, connection. Because this is the thing, if you're hiring a designer, you're hiring them to do a job, which is a transaction, but you're also entrusting your vision to come through them. And everybody can't see your vision. That's why you don't tell people, because they shoot down your ideas. So for me, when somebody gives me their vision, I hold it really tight to the chest as it's mine, because like, hey, it's a privilege. You want me to bring your dream to life and help you bring it to life so that you can share it with the world. That's really big, and that should not be taken lightly. A lot of people take that lightly, and it's not. It's like, look, you could do a design with me, it becomes super successful, noticeable, and then now you're a millionaire. Or you can get with somebody who freaking sucks, gives you a hard time, returns stuff late, and they just demotivate you to the point where you don't even want to do the dream no more. Or you don't even know what a good process looks like, and then your logo looks effed up, so then all these people that see your product, they don't want to come to it because the packaging and the look is second tier or third tier, and it's not high quality. Meanwhile, your product is breaking and cutting edge. So you got to make sure you invest time in finding the right designer, and not just always dictate by money, time. So make time to allow your designer to take their time reasonably to do a really good job, and a lot of time for revisions, and a lot of times for them to explore all the opportunities and capabilities that you can actually have in your logo or your design or whatever the case may be. This, for talking purposes, I'm just going to refer to about logos and things like that, because I worked with a lot of new business owners, startups, and then even Fortune 40 companies making their logos. So something I'm really well versed in. So definitely find the right designer. Make sure that their skill set is there. For me, when I'm hiring, I've hired interns to do work for me, and I've hired people to take work I can't do right now and outsource it. So I've done even all of that. And I always look at LinkedIn because I want to work with a professional. There's instances where you work with a new college kid or whatever, but I always try to get somebody who's like in that professional mindset and trying to make this a profession and not just their side hustle. Because if it's their side hustle, then you're obviously either not at the level where it can be your main gig, or it's just like you are splitting time. And if you split time into something, how really good can you be if you're splitting time, right? So I definitely looked at that. Check resumes, check portfolios, and then allow them to explain what they've done and where they're going, and any things that may be locked up in NDA, because some people may not be able to show you all the work they've done. But when you look at someone's portfolio, you can get a breath of how things are. Like if you go to somebody's website, you put on Facebook, hey, I need a designer. Everybody's going to list all these people. If they're not listing their website or images that they have off the rip, that's a red flag. Every time I see somebody comment my name or somebody else's, I drop my portfolio in there, and it's a branded website by me, let people know like, okay, it's professional. It's just not like me dropping a few images in your DM. That's not showing me I'm professional. It's like, look, hey, here's my information. Here is my website. Here's my LinkedIn. Who has a whole bunch of recommendations on there. Yeah, so definitely get the recommendations and having all the information up there and making sure that, hey, you can like find and dig information from these people, right? Then expectations and deliverables. So when you're with your designer, set clear expectations that are realistic and reasonable. And you can make a logo in a day, But if you want me to make a logo in a day, a busy day like my day, I'm charging you $2,000 minimum, because I have to condense 2 to 3, 4, maybe even a month worth of strategy, discovery, and iterations into fucking 24 hours, and really 12 hours, because most of the other time I'm probably working at my day job or hanging with family and things like that. So make sure it's reasonable, and don't be, oh my God, when someone says, okay, I can do that, but it's gonna cost this. Like if you order Amazon and it says it's gonna ship in 2 days, if you don't have Prime, then you're not gonna get next day. And then if you don't pay the extra money, you're not gonna get same day shipping. So what's the difference between someone actually creating something? They're just sending you a product. We're creating a product for you. Give us some slack. But also don't let them take 3 months if that's not part of the agreement. So be very clear, very thorough, open-minded, and set clear deadlines and stuff so that they know what you expect and you know what they expect. And then also, whether it's about communications, updates and things like that, set expectations for all of that so it can just be a smooth process. The more you guys communicate, the more upfront you guys are, the easier the process is. And I don't mean be rude and be like, oh, I had this way blowing their phone up. It's just like, hey, this is how we're gonna communicate. Hey, when am I gonna get an update? You shouldn't be always doing those things. You should already know when you're gonna get an update. You should already know when round 1 is gonna be, round 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be. So set those expectations. And the deliverables portion I really want to speak to, because when it comes to deliverables, you designers are freaking failing the client terribly, especially with logos. You don't know how many times I have to make style guides for logos because I can't even find the colors because you guys didn't give them a brand guideline, or you gave them a JPEG, so I'm cutting out the background to make it into a PNG and losing all this quality and data within my image, which caused the colors to look pixelated and not the right way, and just a whole bunch of problems because you guys aren't doing your job. Look, so for all you entrepreneurs, when you get a logo done, right, a logo, you need to have the working file, and sometimes that costs you. For me, I charge for the working file because of the simple fact that you can take something and have another designer edit it, so it could potentially be my work being taken to someone else, and then not being able to see both the business and reward from that, along with the experience and portfolio potential work that would come with it. Some of that stuff, you process your journey, you can use that in your portfolio, and then also get the financial gains from it. So if you're taking the work from me to someone else, fine, but I want to charge for the raw file, just like a photographer charges for the raw photos, all 120 of them. No difference. So that's an option. Mandatory, you should have the EPS file of everything, which allows you to scale it, which allows you to go back in, make small adjustments to it, which allows the printer who's making your shirts to change the color if you need to, allows the guy making your billboard to change different things. So it's very, very important, the EPS file, in terms of making products that go hand in hand with your brand. So Lamborghini, this is an EPS file that they sent to the print shop for the shirt. They took that, adjusted it how they need to for the shirts, printed it out, no problem. So make sure you have an EPS file. Now, your PNG files is what you use on everything. You can just use it on freaking the books, you can use it on papers, letterheads, online. Those are what you want to use more frequently. That's what you use the most of the time. They're the easiest to use. SVG files sometimes work well with large printouts. You can usually get away with EPS, and PNG, but I still would say that. So at least EPS, PNG, SVG. I would request SVG too, because it should be extra cost for that. SVG, JPEGs. Only time I send a JPEG is when I'm sending proofs. There's no use for a JPEG, none. So stop using JPEGs and getting JPEGs from it and being cool with it. Oh, I got a logo. Then you give it to me and I'm like, where's the PNG? And you're like, oh, I don't have a JPEG. You just effed me, and now my work is gonna look badder because I don't have a high quality version of your logo. So everybody loses at that point. So no JPEGs, EPS, PNG, SVG. That's some delivery that you must have. If you don't have those, you don't have a good designer. Run quickly, run away, don't give them no more work, period. Even if it's me, if I forget to give you that, leave my ass out to the wolves and go find somebody else, because that is what you are paying for minimum, those things right there. AI files, extra, brand guidelines is tricky. So I have clients that they're like, look, I don't need a brand guideline. I'm just like, yes you do. They're like, no you don't. So if you're gonna fight me about it, I won't do it. I make them a lot of times for when you come back and say, hey, I need this, but then guess what? I'm charging you $200 for that because you fought me for something that I was trying to do. And somebody has done it. They've literally fought me. It was like, I don't need it. I'm like, you do. Well, I don't need that. I'm like, okay, fine. Came back, yeah, it's gonna cost you $200 because you wanted to be a jerk, essentially. So yeah, but what I do for clients, I will make a one-sheeter now. So my process is, if you don't ask one, what you get mandatory is a one-sheeter where you can have your colors, what to do, what not to do, simple stuff, fonts, simple, so that you can, if you need it, you can be there, but sometimes people don't need it. But if you're like starting a legitimate business and you really, really need that, and like, hey, I need the fonts and all that other stuff, which I expect from you, then I do include that into the fee. So it's always cheaper to get design without the raw files, working files, without the brand guidelines. But it's included in the cost when I do charge clients or whatever. So their logos are a little bit more expensive, obviously, because more work, more inclusive. That document has 7 to 8 pages of what to do, what not to do, how to use your logos, Pantone colors with the hex codes and RGB, CMYK, all that stuff. So it's a full decked out thing. And for businesses that are big and want to expand, that's what you need, period. You need that. So then no matter where you go in the world or the universe, you hand on that sheet, all the good designers will be like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do, what I can't do, what I can do, and how things should look. Very, very simple, super underrated, right? So you have that. So that kind of ends expectation deliverables things. And I'm very keen on deliverables. Make sure they're giving you what you need. Okay? Make sure they're giving you what you need and what you're paying your hard-earned money for. Period. Okay? Last but not least, respect the process. Respect the process in the sense of you, lack of better terms, don't want to sound like a dick, but you're not the subject matter expert. Don't hire the designer and then you design it. You don't hire your hairstylist to do your hair in that knotless braids, but then you're trying to do it and tell her how to do it. Like, no, you hired her to do it, so shut up and let her do it. Same thing with this. Like, there's a good happy medium of being involved, but don't be so involved that you're paying someone else to allow you to do all the work. That makes no sense. Otherwise, you just do it yourself, correct? But a lot of times you either don't have time, or frankly, let's be honest, you guys don't have the expertise to do it because that's not your field of expertise. It's not what you went to school for. That's your business is your expertise. You're getting somebody else to come help, borrow their knowledge for $300, $500, $600, $700, $1,000, and come back and implement it to your business. So respect the process in that regards. Allow people to do what you're paying them to do, and then if it comes back and it's not right, let them know. Like, respectfully let them know. That's where you come in, and that's where we need the expertise. Like, hey, what do you think? Let them know what you think. Don't, well, maybe, okay, this will work, that'll be okay. No, let them know, like, hey, I like this, love this, hate this, don't want to see this again. How did you get there? Okay, I love how you did that. How did you do that? So make sure that you're very vocal in those aspects when it's time to be vocal. But there's a difference between collaboration and working towards a common goal and then you just being a jerk or the designer's being an asshole to you. So definitely read the fine prints in the contracts or invoices. I don't really do separate contracts unless it's like NDA stuff and it's like really big. Then I'll draft my own to give to the client as well as the one that they're giving to me. But 9 times out of 10, I have my, I guess, stipulations, if you will, within the invoice in the fine print. Nothing crazy. I don't believe in sticking nobody over or hiding some stuff so that somebody try to legally come at me, I fucked them. No, it's all legal stuff, all makes sense, it's all fair, After extra, so amounts of revisions, they're gonna start costing. That's common sense. After files are delivered fully and I'm done, we're both done. You say done, I say done, thank you, you're welcome. 10 days later, you want me to change something? That's not free no more, it's charge. Some people will try to argue, well, you budgeted it. No, it's a charge because now I'm doing more work, so I just got to get compensated for that. So there's just different things that you want to pay attention to, and I'm saying that to check so that no one screws you over about that and tries to finesse you and finagle you. And it's always good to have written documentation. Definitely communicate, I would say via email, because you can have a paper trail. So everything you say via text, even if it's a daily or weekly recap, put it in your email so that if you ever have to take somebody to court, you can have those paper trails because they can't run away from that because emails go both ways. But yeah, so that's pretty much the conclusion of that portion, of that part 2. My special part for my NHS students, fellow students. I really just want you guys to understand that designers are your partners, but they're also in service of you, so definitely respect them, and then make sure you demand respect and demand the right things from them. I'm going to be making an ebook of basically going over similar topics, but more in depth and more examples, and then more different topics about, the business and client relationship between the designer and the business owner. Want to empower people to know what's going on when they go through these processes, because I keep experiencing so many different interactions and engagement, and just made me wonder, like, is there true education around around how a person should act with their designer, and then how a designer should act with their client? I would say I have about 99% success rate as far as like satisfied people, good relationships, good engagements, and things like that. I'm intentional. I don't want to burn any bridges. So even if I have to do some work for free or pro bono, or to fix something or to adjust something, I do, because at the end of the day, I want the client to be happy, and then that work that they put out there is my representation. It's me. It's my credentials. So I want to have the best credentials out there. So I take extra time when needed to do what I need to do. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. My Northside gang, it's been real. Love y'all. See y'all soon. For my YouTube gang, thanks for tuning in. We about to turn it all the way up. I've been gone. I've been sleeping. I've been prepping, planning, but now it's time to wake up and get back to the bag and get back to the grind. So look, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Definitely going to be an important video. It's going to be a long journey this year. So stick with me, y'all. Stick with me. Peace.